Hey y'all, welcome to Paige's Perspective, where I help you find your inner strength to cope with life. This episode is being released Mother's Day weekend, and I just want to talk about the feelings surrounding this day and how to get through them. I kind of had to overthink this topic a bit, but I'm doing that so that you don't have to. I'm going to break some things down, break some thoughts down, discuss the different stages we may be in, and I may miss a few, but the coping part will be helpful for all, I think. For some, Mother's Day is a wonderful celebration. It's filled with help, with gratitude, appreciation, love, acknowledgement, all the ways to make a mom feel a bit special or cared about. I never really wanted to feel special. I just wanted to feel like I mattered or that my efforts were noticed. It's that simple in my opinion. But for others, it's a painful reminder of how little they're seen or supported, appreciated and heard. Not just on Mother's Day, but every day. That's why it stings so much. We have a lot of expectations surrounding this day when we're not in a safe and secure relationship. I've been in both places. There was a time in my life when I secretly hoped this one day would make up for everything I carried the rest of the year. The mental load, the emotional labor, the feeling of doing it all alone. I remember feeling ungrateful for wanting to feel appreciated, but also very resentful that I had to want more in the first place. But now I'm in a different season. I have a partner who shows up, and not with flowers and cards or planning gifts or an outing or whatever, but with effort, putting in effort and presence and shared responsibility. And I'm also in a safe and secure relationship. So Mother's Day just isn't a big thing for me anymore because I feel supported each day. We have a major balance here. When we're not supported every day, we at least hope for one day when we feel appreciated. And many times guys just don't pull through. They don't get it. They don't do what we feel like we deserve in a way. But I know many of you are still in the trenches, and some of you may be solo parenting. This could be literally or emotionally. Some of you may be divorced or separated and wondering if anyone ever sees how hard you're trying. And some of you are partnered, you're still with somebody, but you still feel alone and unappreciated. You're the one stepping up all the time, taking on the housework, the laundry, the appointments, the meals, the extracurriculars, the communication with the schools, chaperoning, chauffeuring, also while holding a job, while having a partner who is emotionally unavailable or barely even present. Some of you are raising kids on your own. You've tried to co-parent with someone who keeps disappearing. And even though you don't expect the flowers or the grand gestures, the cards and all the things, there's a small part of you that still aches for your efforts to be seen. I see you guys. I get it. This day can stir up a lot of emotions. It can stir up resentment, grief, guilt, longing, and sometimes hope. And when many people say things, or when some people may say things like, just speak your expectations, I understand where they're coming from, but it can feel tone deaf because sometimes the expectation is simply this, to not have to explain everything you need, which I get, but I also understand the importance of communicating our wants and needs. Like there's a gray area here. But I've also witnessed some moms be very, very pushy about Mother's Day, and I don't want to be that mom either. Yeah, we deserve to be appreciated, but I'm not going to force my family to celebrate this day the exact way I want. Like, I look at it as another day these days, and being pushy just seems super inauthentic. It sounds so complicated when I put this all into words, but bear with me. I'm going to share some tips to help you get through it. Step one, let's release the fantasy. Stop waiting for people to show up how we wish they would. The brunch, the handwritten cards, the thank you for everything moment that you feel you should happen, but might not. Not because you don't deserve it, but because they just may not be capable of giving it. And when we can stop expecting the people who've let us down all year to suddenly transform for one day, we stop handing them the power to ruin it. Step two is going to be anchor into reality. What's actually happening? Not what should be, not what Instagram or society says it should look like, but what is. When you're hurting, your brain often jumps between the fantasy of how you wish things were and the disappointment of how things actually are. So it might sound like this. I should be waking up to breakfast in bed and a card that says how much I mean to them. This was supposed to be the year things felt different. If they loved me, they'd show up today. And while those things are valid and the pain behind them is real, they can also trap you in a cycle of unmet expectations and deep sadness. So anchoring in reality means gently pulling yourself back from what should be and instead asking what is. So ask yourself, what's actually happening right now in this moment? Who is showing up for me, even if it's just me? What kind of day do I have the power to create, no matter how small it is? And this isn't about pretending that everything is fine. It's about noticing what's real so you can respond to it instead of spiraling about what's missing. When you stop fighting the present moment and you start working with it, even in tiny ways, you reclaim some of your power. You ground yourself in what is so you can stop spinning in what isn't. Step 3 is going to be create one intentional moment. You don't need a perfect day, just one moment that feels like yours, something small. Celebrate yourself in whatever feels good. Don't wait for others to acknowledge you in the way you wish they would. Buy the flowers for yourself. I buy flowers for myself every week. Order your favorite food. Schedule some time alone. Sit on ass and do nothing. And if you have littles, like really little kids, let them brain rot in front of the TV for a bit while you sit in silence. It's okay. It will be okay. Step 4, let it be just another day if that's what you need. I say this with love. It is okay to not care. It's okay if you want to ignore the whole day. These special days, they're made up. They are literally made up. They're on a calendar designed by people who don't live your life. They're just a made up date on the calendar that doesn't get to dictate how I feel or what I'm worth. And you're allowed to opt out. I stopped giving this day the power to measure how loved or worthy I was. And I said, you know what? It's just another day. Not in a bitter way, not in a numb, checked out way, in a liberating way. Because when you stop expecting it to be meaningful, you take the pressure off. You stop hoping someone will finally get it, and you make space for something more honest, which is relief. Relief from disappointment, relief from unmet expectations, relief from pretending to be okay when you're not. For some of us, this is peace. It doesn't mean you don't value motherhood or wish things were different. It means you're protecting yourself from a cycle that hurts you. If that's where you're at this year, let it be what it is. Wash the dishes, go on a walk, binge a show, treat it like any other Sunday. There's no shame in that. You get to choose how much meaning this day holds. And if the answer is none at all, that's powerful too. This is how I get through Mother's Day, or how I've gotten through Mother's Day in the past. I really do just look at it as another day. And I go with the flow and kind of just chill and relax and just whatever I have to do. I will probably be doing laundry this Sunday. It's not that deep for me personally. Step 5 is going to be tell yourself the truth. No matter what the day brings, here's what's true. You're not a bad mom because you're exhausted. You're not invisible just because someone else isn't seeing you. You're not hard to love. You're not too much. You're not too emotional. You're not the reason it's this way. This day doesn't get to dictate how worthy of a mom you are. If you're surrounded by people who don't get it, find those who do. Reach out to a friend. Share your truth in a space that honors it. You deserve to feel less alone. Many of us in the twofold community get it. Those who haven't had unequal partners or lived a life like this may not understand, and that's okay. We do understand. If no one celebrates you, it's okay to celebrate yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And if no one shows their appreciation for you, it's not a reflection of your worth. So no matter what kind of day this turns out to be, whether it's quiet, chaotic, lonely, full of disappointment, or just a plain ordinary day, I want you to hear this. You're not less than because someone didn't show up. You're not invisible because your kids are too young to notice or your partner forgot. You're not defined by this day or by who did or didn't say thank you. You are a woman who has shown up over and over again. You've loved when it was hard to love. You've led when no one else would. You've held it together in ways no one else saw, and you don't need a holiday to prove your worth. You are already worthy, already enough, already a mother in every sacred, soul deep way that matters. So if you need to cry, do it. If you want to ignore the day entirely, that's a beautiful choice too. Whatever you need to do to feel okay, do that. It's not for them, this is for you. You've earned the right to treat this day however the hell you want to. Celebrate it or don't. Feel the feels, but also acknowledge reality. Happy Mother's Day on your terms. That's all I have for this week. Until next time, I'm Paige. Bye.